This is my ready bag. I call it a ready bag because I keep it in the Wrangler and it is ready to go for a couple different situations that could occur when I am out in the Wrangler. It is not a bug out bag. It's not a survival bag that's meant to last a certain amount of time in the wilderness. Um, it is just a ready bag of preparedness supplies that is always ready to go. And if I'm driving a long road trip in my wife's car or my son's car, we'll throw it in there, but normally it is in the back of the Wrangler. This bag is meant to be used if we are doing a planned hike and we're going to be away from the Wrangler. If we drove to a trailhead or if we're out in the Wrangler and we see a trail that we want to hike any distance away from the Wrangler, I will grab this bag and take it with us. Also, if we have to do anything that is unplanned that involves walking, if the Wrangler breaks down or is stranded for any reason, whether it be on a trail out in the wilderness or on a gravel road or a country road, anywhere kind of out in the wilderness or unpopulated area where I'm going to have to walk away from the Wrangler for some reason, I would take this bag with me. In either instance, there would be other things already in the Wrangler that I would add to this bag, especially if we're going on a planned hiking trip. I would add additional clothing layers, hat, sunscreen, possibly bug spray. I always keep water bottles in the Wrangler, so they're not in the bag specifically, but if I was going to be away from the Wrangler taking this bag, I would put them in here. Even if we were on a road trip somewhere else, normally we always have drinks in the car. We probably have a jacket or anything else in the car that would need to be added to this. So this is just the base, and we would add other things to it based on where we're hiking or the situation that we find ourselves in needing to take a hike. So I'm just going to go through and take out some of the things in here. Let me know in the comments if you think there is anything that I'm missing, anything else that should be in here, or anything that I have that you really don't think is necessary. Going to start with the smallest pouch here. First thing is some first aid supplies. We have a first aid kit in all of our cars, a full first aid kit, but this is just some extra supplies, bandages, gauze, antibiotic ointment, there's some butterfly closures, so just a couple of extra things that are always in this bag and ready to go. Also have some compression tape. This is just good to have. Probably the most likely things that would happen if you were hiking out in the wilderness would be cuts, scratches, scrapes, or sprains. So this is kind of just to cover those situations. Just good to have with us. Also have 2 lighters in here. Probably should work. I haven't tested them in a while. Yeah, they do work. Just good to have a pair of them just in case you need them. Next thing in this pouch, or actually the last thing in this pouch, just going back to the backpack itself for a second. This is basically a school style backpack. The whole theme of this bag is that it's better to have something rather than nothing, so this bag counts for something. If I can have a more backpack, wilderness style bag, I will get one, or when I can get one, I will get one. Just haven't picked one up yet, but this does the job for that I needed to do, so it is what I'm using, but it is a school style backpack. So the next thing in here is a multi-tool. This is a Leatherman brand, and this just has pliers, has screwdrivers, a small knife blade. It's just a good tool to have. And I would say if you don't have anything in your car, just adding a multi-tool and the first aid supplies is probably a good place to start. I've watched a lot of videos on preparedness, and I don't have everything in my bag that a lot of people would carry. But like I said, something is better than nothing. So if you're starting from scratch, a multi-tool of some kind and first aid supplies is a good place to start. Let's move on to the next pouch, and going to this one just so I can get to say, that's not a knife. That's a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
So yeah, this is a survival knife. It's always in the bag. I've had this since I was in college. It is a 6-inch blade. Not sure if you're allowed to show knives on YouTube. I guess you probably are. 6-inch blade. It is serrated on one side, sharp blade on the other side. It does have a flint. The handle is hollow for survival type supplies. That is a needle. I haven't opened this in a while. I don't use the handle. I thought everything in here was in a little baggie, but it is not. There's some fishing line in here, some matches, some nails. I need to go through what is in the handle and try to update everything because it has not been opened in a while. It's the handle has it. So yeah, just a little bit bigger knife than the multi-tool. Good to have with you. Next thing in here, while we're talking about knives, is bear spray. Good to carry even if you're not in an area where there are bears. Bear spray can be used obviously on other animals as well, and we'll leave it at that, but this is just a second bottle of bear spray. I do have one that's in the on a MOLLE panel in the back seat of the Wrangler. I have another bear spray that we'll keep out at camp, but this is just a extra one that always stays in the backpack. Moving on here, I do have a water filtration straw, as well as water purification tablets. So I do have both just in case. Like I said, we always have water bottles in the car, so we'd have water bottles, and then if we needed to refill that water bottle, we can use the water purification tablets, but we'd also have the straw as a backup. Do have a couple pairs of socks in the bag. If you're caught out in the rain or if you cross the water or anything like that, probably one of the most uncomfortable things is to have to hike around in wet socks. So I do have 2 pairs of socks in here. Probably could get better hiking style socks. These are just regular like gym stock style socks, but something is better than nothing. The last thing in this pouch is just some dude wipes. Just good to have on a planned hike or on an unplanned hike if you find the need for them. Good to have. Enough about that. Let's go to the bigger pouch here. A couple more, just more emergency stuff in here. Did you have some paracord? This is, I'm trying to see how long it is. 50 feet. 50 feet of paracord. Does have a carabiner on it. So good to have. Also have a emergency blanket. It's a extra large. Not sure how big it is, but it is reflective orange and the silver on one side, the reflective orange on the other side. So if you're trying to signal somebody, the reflective orange is good to use for that as well. But this keep you warm and dry. I have some Gorilla Tape. If you need a MacGyver or something, you gotta have the right tape. So got this. And the last thing in here is some waterproof matches and tinder. So a little thing of tinder and some waterproof matches in a waterproof case. So those are in there as well. And that is pretty much all that's in here. Yeah, we would, if we're going on a planned hike, we would definitely supplement this with, bug spray that we always have in the car, sunscreen, hats if I'm not already wearing one, layers of clothing, anything like that. Food. I do not keep food in here. But yeah, if we're going on a planned hike, we'd definitely add food and things like that. So it would be fully stocked with everything you would need for a longer hike. Um, there is kind of another theme here, as well as the anything is better than nothing. You'll notice that a lot of things are duplicated. Um, so yeah, there's two knives, there's two water purification methods, there are two different methods for starting fire, the waterproof matches and the lighters. So that is just following the principle of two is one is none. So it's always good to have a backup because you never know what's going to happen. So that's the whole point of being preparedness, is if you're going to be prepared, you might as well be as prepared as you can be. So that is going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments anything I should add to this, anything you think definitely should be in a bag for an emergency preparedness. And yeah, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you guys out on the road.